Hola clase, ¿cómo están? Excelente. And welcome back to Learning with Senor Cao Cao. All right, so at this point, y'all are finishing up your final draft for your essay, and that is due to me this Friday, okay? Again, I don't want to see any type. I want to see a photo of your paper sent to me on Google Classroom. And the place to turn that in will appear on Friday at 8 a.m. Now, what I want to do is talk to you today about the oral version of the report, the kind of speech that you have to make. So again, this Friday, I want to see your final version corrected, ready to go, ready for me to actually put a number on. And then starting Monday or Tuesday for some of y'all, we will be presenting our oral presentations. Okay. Now, as you remember, part of the oral presentation is, sorry, part of the oral presentation is you sitting with the class and telling them about this person, where they were born, blah, blah, blah. Tell us all about your person. And in addition, you should, while other people are presenting, you should write down interesting things they said, like if their grandfather is from Jamaica or something cool like that, and then put together a question to ask them after they're done. Everybody needs to ask a few questions, okay? And I'm going to talk about that today. So let me show you first. This is the kind of the criteria that I'm looking for. All right, what I'm looking for in the oral presentation. Each section represents 10 points of 100 for your grade. Okay, number one, and I'm going to explain each one. Did you cover the life, death, and positive impact of that person on your life? Were you ready when I called on you? Did you include a visual aid? Did you speak about the visual aid? Preterite errors, imperfect errors, pronunciation errors, responded to questions asked to you by students and me, asked questions, did you ask questions to others, and other grammatical errors. All right, so let's explain each one. All right, section one, I will put checks to say that, well, actually, let me show you this first. This is the rubric. Just so you know what I'll be looking at. When you're presenting, I'll be looking at this. I'll put your name. Did you cover life, death, positive impact? Were you ready when I called on you, etc.? Okay, and I'll post this as well so you can get a better look at it. Okay, so section one, I'll put checks, like 3 checks, to say that you covered the life, death, and positive impact of your person. Make sure you have included enough details and life facts about that person. Okay, don't just say they were born in Connecticut, lived in Georgia, died in South Carolina. Section two, if I call on you and you're not ready to present, it is -10. If you are ready, it's +10. Section 3, I put a check if you have your visual aid. Section 4, I put a check if you said something about the relevance of the visual aid. Remember, this is a requirement. You have to hold up something, even if it's a picture, and tell us why it is significant. Section 5, I will count off for using imperfect when it should have been preterite, -2 points each time you do it, each and every time. Section 6, I will count off for using preterite when it should have been imperfect, -2 each time. Section 7 is about pronunciation. If you have major pronunciation errors that show me that you have not practiced speaking and saying these things beforehand, and if we have difficulty understanding you, you will lose points for intonation and pronunciation. So basically, speak loud, speak clear, and I need to see that you have actually at least practiced trying to say these things. Don't like it'll be very obvious if there's a word that you've never seen before, like you looked it up and wrote it down and that was it. Okay, so again, just be sure, like if it's a word like, so even something complicated like pronominalización or just something like that, I want to at least see if you have been trying to pronounce that correctly. Okay, let's see. Section 8, I will put a check if you were able to understand questions asked to you in Spanish and respond in Spanish. Points will be taken off for things like me or students having to translate the question in English for you to understand. Translate the question to English. Speaking of errors. So I'll take off points if someone has to ask you the question in English for you to understand, or if you're not able to respond in Spanish. Like if, for example, if you say, my grandfather was born in Jamaica. Mi abuelo nació en Jamaica. A question you could ask is, ¿Dónde en Jamaica nació? Where in Jamaica? Okay. There are many towns in Jamaica, many cities. So be ready to understand and answer the question. All right. I'm not looking for anything big or fancy. It's all about comprehension. Did you understand what was being asked of you? Okay, section 9. I will note here how many times you asked questions to students who were presenting. Every student does not have to ask a question to every presenter, but I should see you ask a few times. Okay, so across all of the projects, I want to see that you are participating in asking questions to them. All right, I cannot tell you how much practice for college this is. This is really great. In section 10, I will make notes of significant grammatical errors here. Each error is minus 1/2 point. It could be things like subject-verb agreement, things like saying, mis abuelos vivió, okay? Noun adjective agreement, things like el chica bajo, no reflexive pronoun when needed, etc. Okay, so this will be a little minus half. And finally, important notes. Number 1, there's no specific length of time that you need to take presenting. So don't worry about, am I talking too fast? It is a question of whether you have completed the assignment and have everything I'm asking for said correctly. Start with the birth, tell me about the life, end with the death and the positive impact. I want this to be a low pressure situation. I know it's nerve-wracking anytime you're presenting, much less in Spanish, but if you learn your stuff, if you study, if you practice, you'll be fine. Like I said, we've been at this for 2 weeks. Take time to practice. And this is a message from Miss Johnson. People generally do well on this, partially because you have already edited your errors and created the presentation from your clean draft. Do not forget to practice before presentation day, okay? So that's that. And like I said, here's one more look at the rubric, which I'll post as well. So when you present, I'll write your name down, and I'll be like, check. Error here. This was good. Oh, okay. It's no big thing. It's no big deal. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and post this, and I will see you later. As always, I'm here if you need me. Contact me any way you want to, and I will respond. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Adios.